I played through the entirety of Finding Nemo and Shark Tale on the PS2 in one sitting, so you don't have to. This is the Shark Tale section of that playthrough. Now, as far as the Shark Tale game goes, don't remember a lot. I remember not liking it, and I remember there being these awful, and I mean fucking horrible dance minigames that were like DDR fucking awful things. It's a rhythm game. This is half of a platformer, in quotation marks, and half a rhythm game. So let's see if this is how I remember it. This was made by Activision, the other one was made by Traveller's Tales. I mean, as far as the title screen goes, it's very bland. Odd music choice. Christ, the resolution. Right, you just have the whole ass. Oh no, there's music. Okay. Oh, so this is like. Okay, that's cool. You need to progress to unlock all this stuff. I was about to say you unlock it all from the get-go. That's a bit shit. Okay, right. Let's just do this. Emulation does not do that title screen justice. Everything's so blurry because it's all just like.
Oscar. Yeah, I know him.
So this takes the Simpsons hit and run approach of things by framing each chapter of the game by newspaper. Mission: dodge the shark until the end. Excuse me.
I'm gonna die. I am gonna die.
That's not Will Smith. Oh hell. Well, as far as this shark chase is presented, I guess it's a bit more impactful than the Nemo one. I like the pause menu. Pretty cool. Ah! Oh, I got hit. Animations are nice and fluent. Oh god. Ha! You wiggle the thumbstick and Oscar turns into a fucking kite. Look at this boy wiggle. Little face. Oh. Nice.
Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar!
I mean, I guess the game has a sense of humour, that's good. Don't remember that happening in the movie though. Licensed music? Wang's Deli. Oh dear, what a name. I love Sean Paul in my game about fish. It's amazing. Oh, so as a fault of emulation, the textures here are a little bit broken, but that is not too big of a deal. As far as the game controls, it controls very nicely. Yeah, the textures here are very broken.
It's a disgrace is what it is. I'm gonna straighten out those delinquents pronto.
Well, the more I'm listening to it, the more it actually does sound like Will Smith. What am I actually supposed to be doing here? Hello there, future me here. So it turns out all you have to do in this section is quite literally swim around until you find all three of the shorties. Now the problem is, the game does nothing to help you find these fish, and the map is quite large. You reach the end of these essentially long linear 2D sections until you find the signpost which will change your direction to then follow on with the level in a different direction. Now the only issue is, it's not exactly clear where you're going or if you've already been to an area until you look there to find that you've already got certain collectibles or whatnot. And it's a big problem. The game also does not explain to you that you can access a map of the level by pressing circle on the controller. Now that if I knew this wouldn't have taken anywhere near as long, because believe me, I was stuck on this section for, and I counted, 16 minutes of gameplay, and for the first essentially proper level, that's a long fucking time to be spending on the first level, where hardly any of the mechanics get explained apart from use the dash button and circle around collectibles. That's essentially it. So yeah, it was a poor level to say the least. I thought I was just aimlessly spamming to go in one direction all this time. But nope, the level is just this big. This is exactly what you need to do. Game design. That took fucking forever. I wish there was a timer on that screen to show you just how long that took. What an awful, awful level that is. Oh dear, this is the fucking dance minigame, isn't it? You are witnessing peak gameplay. It really just feels like that my inputs don't register half the time. What a healthy sack of shit that was. Well, at least the game is unique. I guess it has that going for it, that it's telling a unique storyline. It's not following the movie one-to-one. Why would... In what universe is a taxi faster than swimming normally? Unless these are just naturally faster fish. Oh great, so now we have stealth sections. I'm trying to picture like the pitch for this game. It's like, how many different gameplay styles should we have? And the guys at the table just said yes. Exactly what it feels like. It's also confusing, like why is some parts of this game 60 frames a second and the rest of it's 30? Okay, right, wait. What is the point in hiding if you... I just thought, you know, let's fuck it. Let's just dash. Let's just dash and you can just get through it by dashing. That seems a bit redundant. Oh no, it's another dance mini game based on the success thing. I just played one of these. Well, this is going to get blocked in some regions. Sykes will wash, you gotta will it a wash on the price. Oh my gosh, this is fucking ridiculous. Who the hell is actually playing this through until they get 100% on these missions? Fuck that. Oh, so now we have an auto-scroller, yet another gameplay style. Those jellyfish are so, like, uncharacteristically designed for, like, considering, you know, you look at the rest of these character designs and they look like people. They're just, like, straight out of Finding Nemo. No. No, this isn't really that fun. No. Well, as far as movie tie-ins go and how they adapt things for the video game, I guess this one's a relatively unique case, and I appreciate that it takes a different direction compared to the movie. Keeps things a little bit fresh and without spoilers, I guess, but at the same time, it's... as far as being a video game goes, it's not great. You can skip past virtually everything provided you just like hold charge, which is ridiculous.
I'm crazy, I'll be tripping.
Oh fuck, right, off. I was only like 2-3 seconds off. Yeah, there's no way this video is not getting claimed. I mean, I'm all for licensed music in video games, but this game has it in abundance.
It's party time.
What on earth are the anime? Future me again. If you might not have noticed, I don't really say a lot in a lot of these segments. It boils down to mainly just very small and snappy observations. And that's simply because I had nothing to fucking say while playing this game. It's pretty boring to say the least, and it's very unfocused. The main complaint with this game is how unfocused it really is. The first level of the game is a shark chase. You are essentially just moving up, down, left, right to avoid a shark, and you play these segments I think 3 times throughout the game. The next segment of the game just introduces you to, you know, running rings around objects to collect them, as you know, that's how the collectibles work in this game, which is harmless. But the following level 2B, which was the one that took nearly 20 minutes, is just a case of swimming around in open space with nothing to do and, you know, just find the things that you need to find, where with no clear objective to find them, no help to find them, it takes fucking forever. The only problem being is they could have easily filled these spaces with something to do, like in Finding Nemo, for example, which we covered literally just the other day. The things you can do in that game involve swimming through rings, match the colour to the pebble, destroy the enemies. This game is as simple as swim around a pearl and collect money to unlock unlockables in the extras section, and that is it. There is nothing else to do in this game apart from swim around big open spaces and attack the occasional enemy with a dash attack. It's very, very, you know, boring and just empty feeling. You know, it's like, I get we're in an ocean and fish are free to swim where they want, but this is a bit too literal, you know. This is a video game, for Christ's sake, you know. Design the game around it, hence why I don't really collect anything in these levels. You could argue that if I actually bothered to collect them, then maybe it would have been more fun, but believe me, I was doing that for the first half of the game and I got bored. This game's infinitely longer than Finding Nemo as well. I believe Finding Nemo took me less than 2 hours to finish, this one took just close to 5, and it's a case where if there was more to do in the game and it was actually really well designed, I would have had fun with it, but I didn't have fun with the game because it wasn't fun to play in many spaces. The dance mini games aren't fun to play, the inputs feel really delayed, and if not, they don't register whatsoever. The only fun I had with the game really was the fight sections, because they actually involve you being, you know, active with the game. You have to pay attention, and when you get it right, it feels really satisfying. The stealth sections were shite as well, because you can just swim straight through it in most cases. You don't even have to hide. So it makes them incredibly redundant. A lot of this game's design is just redundant and just bad in general. So, you know, that's why a lot of these segments are really bland and boring, because that's just how the game is. It's just bland and boring. Every credit to the game as far as things go anyway. I've gone a while without speaking up. I've just been trying to play the fucking game. But no, as far as things go, it's getting better as it goes along. It started really poorly because obviously it doesn't explain its mechanics incredibly well. It doesn't tell you this and that. The first level was fucking awful. The dance mini games are still pretty, like, they're not great, but they, you know, they're okay when they're a bit more difficult. The game's fine. It's nothing special, but it's fine. It's tolerable in places. I'm having a decent time. Like I said, it gets better. So up to now, Shark Tale versus Finding Nemo is proving to be something I'm actually going to have to think about, which is not what I was expecting to say. Oh, please don't be another dance game.
Thank you.
Motherfucker. With the game now coming to its close, it's time to make a verdict. Which game was better, Nemo or Shark Tale? And I think without a shadow of a doubt, it has to be the Nemo game, but only just. The thing is, Shark Tale is a very unfocused game. In the areas it gets things right, I'd say it does get them right. For example, the stage on screen now was a very difficult level that required you to understand the game's mechanics to a T to complete the stage, and I thought it rewarded the player quite nicely, you know, in feeling satisfied with how they are playing the game. However, when it comes to the rest of the game, the dance mini-games suck, the stealth sections are redundant, the level design itself is far too open with absolutely nothing going on. The art style itself, again, it has to be akin to the movie, but it's not that great in general. Just as a whole package, Shark Tale feels lazy, low budget, like what you'd expect from a movie tie-in game, whereas Finding Nemo at least has some merits in that its art style is relatively decent for what it is. I guess there's a lot of graphical oddities and other bugs, but it is what it is. But yeah, no, as far as the gameplay itself goes, which is what we're focusing on here, Shark Tale may control better, but Finding Nemo feels natural to play all in the same. There's plenty of attention to detail, plenty of things to do for 100% that are actually decently fun, and just, the presentation full stop's just infinitely better. Shark Tale has its merits in its animation, I suppose. I think that's one of the things I can, tip towards the game in its favour, as well as graphics in general. But if I was to sit down and choose to play one of these games again, it would probably be Nemo. Not just for nostalgia bias, but because it is genuinely a better game.
Right!
And in other news, famed shark slayer Oscar captured more than our hearts today.
What is that? Is that how it ends?
Rampage of notorious shark boss
For
Don
me.
Nemo to an
Alrighty, so yesterday I looked at Shark Tale and Finding Nemo for the PlayStation 2. Now I'm just going to take a quick peek at how they perform on Gamecube. These are games physically I have played on the Gamecube. Finding Nemo I have experienced on both consoles, but Shark Tale only on Gamecube, and I remember it running quite well. However, like I stated earlier, there are differences between playing these versions of the games on emulation and in real life. Of course, PlayStation 2 version of Sonic Heroes, for example, plays like shit compared to GameCube. Emulation tries to fix that, but it still performs worse than the GameCube, so I'm curious to know just how they perform as emulated variants of themselves. And we'll start with Shark Tale in that regard, because it's more fresh on the mind. I will give the game credit, that transition from FMV to gameplay was pretty good. Quite ahead of its time, really. Well, as far as the game itself goes, being emulated anyways, it looks a lot better on the GameCube version, but that being said, Dolphin as an emulator I think is better than PCSX2 anyway. simply because it has a lot less issues when it comes to games. Of course, you can't do much about, you know, the horrible low texture HUD, but that's, you know, you can't upscale those the same way you can upscale models, for example. So it's not exactly a fault of the, you know, the softwares, it's just a fault of emulation in general. Same with the cutscenes. Again, I'm pretty sure it's just an emulation software thing, but the audio quality seems to be slightly better using Dolphin. So, I suppose if you are going to play these games through means of emulation rather than, you know, actually getting a physical copy of the game, then Dolphin seems to be the way to go, because I'm having like zero issues graphically and audible, you know, everything's all hunky-dory right now. It's hunky Oscar, let's put it that way, shall we? Now, I will say I can't be bothered to play this game any longer, because we've already seen that it's exactly, you know, it performs really nicely, everything's nice and smooth, that's all you need to know. As far as playing this game on Dolphin goes compared to PCSX2, don't play it on Dolphin, play it on PCSX2. And Shark Tale, the opposite applies. Play it on Dolphin, don't play it on PCSX2, because, again, problems. I suppose as far as being a stable game goes, Shark Tale is more stable across both ports, but, again, just get them on different emulators. You probably have them both anyway.